Another approach like that perm term, we can maintain a bigram indexing. We can maintain a bigram indexing for the given term. Assume that only one term, that is April. The user may give started with A and does not know the last few characters. The user may know only AP and last few character does not know. The user may give PR intermediate character and previous few character and last few character he does not know. This may happen. So depending on which you have to maintain some grams or k grams. You may maintain your 2 gram. User may know few 2 characters. Sometimes the user may know 3 characters only. Sometimes user may know 4 characters only, like that. That is why you have to maintain a possible 2 grams, possible 3 grams, possible n grams, possible k grams, depending upon the word size. Assume the term example April. APRIL, 5 number of characters. So what you have to do? Your term is ended over here. That is your dollar over here, as you have seen in the last previous slide. So one thing can happen, as it is all are rotating. First, $A. A possible permit or bigram is $A. 2 characters, na? One is the end character and there is the starting character. $A. Then AP. Then AP. Then PR. Then PR. Then RI. Then RI. Then IL. Then IL. Then L and again end character. So this is the possible bigrams because you are choosing 2 characters. So whenever the entry is given as PR, I don't know the first few characters, I don't know the last few characters. It may happen that it is matching with this one, and I can suggest that the possible word can be April. It may happen that few more words are there which are also being proposed by this particular algorithm, by bigram algorithm. So out of that, again, you may perform some post processing. Out of these all possible choices, which is the correct word that the user is needing. But now I am able to find some words which are having the intermediate character PR. So like that, if the sentence is like that, April is the cruelest month, you have to find the bigram or 2 gram for all the possible words and maintain in your indexing system. Maintain in your inverted indexing system or indexing system where you are going to put the dictionary terms. You are matching with each of the terms, byword terms, with your dictionary. Okay, so these are the different approach way to handle the wildcards. Because why I am telling wildcard? Because the user is not giving the complete word. He or she is missing something. Still, your searching algorithm, still your indexing system trying to handle that. How much your indexing system is tolerant? How much your indexing system is understandable about the query that is partially written by the user. So look at here, as we have done in my previous slide, we have tried to put all the possible bigrams, maybe started, maybe middle, maybe like this. So whenever you are, this is your bigram indexing in your indexing dictionary system. It is your dictionary system. You are trying to put the all possible bigrams. $M, MO, ON, like this. You have few more, whatever the bigrams you have. And for each of the bigram, your indexing system is approaching, give some number of suggesting words which are having this, satisfying this condition. $M, this started with M. So this is maybe a term, this may be another term, this may be another term. several terms are there. Another term MO, no dollar, that means this word or this term MO is present in the middle of the word. So this may be one suggestion, this will be another suggestion, possible suggestion. Similarly, some term having the middle part or middle characters are ON. So this is one maybe example, this is another example. This is not exactly some words are there. Middle of the term is like this. So your indexing system is trying to put all the possible bywords or byterms, and based on which it is suggesting some of the words to the user, because we don't know exactly which word the user needs. We are going to suggest something. So when you have maintained that kind of bigram, that means choosing two number of characters to maintain in your dictionary system. At the time, you have, suppose you have maintained the bigrams for MON. $M started with M. Some of the middle characters MO and some of the middle characters are ON. You have maintained this one. Undoubtedly, you have given this one. So you can easily, it is very fast whenever you are giving some categories of query, if it is matching with the bigram and so you are suggesting some of the words, it is correct. But what will happen if the user asking to get some result for the term moon? For the term moon, because that user needs to get the result for the moon, but you are trying to show the result for the mon, because in both of the cases the bywords are having same, or it may be mon or it may be for mon. So it little bit confused. You have maintained the binary, you have maintained the bywords for a particular term, where again it is matching with another term. So in that case, you have to perform some post filtering approach. That exactly what the user needs. Okay, so depending on which you may suggest the proper words or terms. Look at here. So when you are allowing that wildcard entries in the search engine, when you are allowing wildcard entries to the search engine, that means you are allowing the user to be lazy. He or she will not write the complete word. He or she will always try to be lazy and write the few terms, a few words, because he or she know that your search engine is able to handle, and in here that particular search engine will suggest the proper word. It encourages to be laziness of the word, laziness of the user. But what you can do? The user always trying to write the words in such a way that he or she needs less effort. But still your search engine should able to manage or you are able to handle that kind of input. So based on which your search engine or a query execution system performs so many sophisticated tasks, very difficult critical tasks. So you're performing so much expensive task during the query execution, because you are not getting the exact term, exact word that is needed by the user. Rather, you are getting some portion of partial few fraction of that word. Still, you are doing your best to produce the give the exact response that the user is needing. So, by the if you want to suggest some of the post processing, means you are allowing some job where the user is giving some partial input and then still also you are producing the correct output. You have to perform some post filtering by performing some advanced searching technique to avoid the confusion what the user needs. Avoid, you have to perform some advanced search technique. What is that? That what is the length of this word? Okay, whether it's a place name or whether it's a person name, whether it is an Indian term, Hindi means where the location it may be, that particular word belongs to India or that particular words belong to French or like this, so that it will may help you to exactly search what kind of requirement of that particular user. So we may perform some advanced search button. We can have some advanced search button, so that unnecessary hitting or unnecessary executions may be prevented somehow. Next thing is spelling correction. Okay. Sometimes what happened, as I have told, the user, whatever the entry is being given by the user, due to some reason, the word is written completely, but some of the terms or some of the letter are misspelled. Due to some reason, that particular person does not know the exact spelling, he have written incorrectly or misspelled the word. Then your search engine should suggest the word how. So two principal uses of this spell correction. One thing is that you can build your correct indexing system. Though the document have misspelled word, then also you are able to make the correct indexing system. By the help of the spell corrector, you have corrected the spelling of that particular term or word, then you have indexed in your indexing system. Otherwise, what is the another advantage? The matching document where the query contains spelling. Whatever the query is given by the user is not correct. You know that, but still you are able to search the correct word or correct document depending on the query given by the user. What is being done by the Google also? Yes, still you have written the wrong term, misspelled term. Then also Google is suggesting the proper document, proper relevant document. Okay, so in two ways this can be done, this spelling correction. One thing is when the words or terms are isolatedly written. Okay, suppose that term is college, but suppose any word misspelled COLELGE. You are searching through the dictionary whether it is matching. If it is not matching, then it shows that it is not matched, which is exactly matching in a dictionary system related to this one. So you are suggesting this term. So if these terms are isolated, only one term is there, and you are matching with the dictionary and suggesting the proper word based on the dictionary. Take each word on its own for spelling by the help of some dictionary. It may have some problem. What are those? You are selecting an isolated term, that is FROM, but it should be FORM. It should be FORM, but the user is written FROM. Both the terms are correct. In a dictionary, it shows that these two terms are both are correct, so I cannot change because it is correctly spelled. But in that position, it needs to be FORM. Look at here the example. I flew from Heathrow to Narita. So I flew from, it should be FROM, but the user is written FORM form, which is wrong. So in that case, this isolated word indexing system, isolated word technique will not work correctly. In that case, we need some context sensitive technique. What exactly word it should be based on this context. You are moving from one place to another place. In that case, there is no role of FORM. We need FROM. So depending upon the situation, depending upon the context, you are suggesting it should be like this instead of this. So two main ways. One, you can handle through the isolated word, which have which is very fast and very required by less mechanism, but it is unable to handle some kind of terms where the spelling is correct, but the context is wrong. In that case, we need another approach that is called as context sensitive approach. So when we need this kind of spelling correction approach, listen, when you have some text, suppose here this particular text, this text are being collected in two ways, maybe collected in two ways. What are the two ways? One thing that you have typed all this, you have typed or copied from somewhere else this particular text, or else the another way is that it is called as optical character recognition. You have retrieved the text from a text image. Try to understand my point. You have a text document, but the question is where you have got this document, where you have got this text document. Two ways. One thing is that either you have written or typed or copied from somewhere else, or you have retrieved the text from a text document image. The first thing is that you have typed or copied somewhere. So look at your keyboard. That is our keyboard, laptop keyboard is called as QWERT keyboard, where Q at the side is W and its side is E, then its side is R, then T, then Y, then U, then I, O, like this. So it may happen that when you are typing something through your keyboard, that I and O, which are very much closer, look at your keyboard, laptop or PC keyboard, where I and O are very closer to each other, and you are typing, instead of typing O, you have typed I, or instead of typing I, you have typed O. It may happen. So this I and O may be confused when you are typing through your QWERT keyboard. So when you found that I have a term which is by mistakenly written O and the word is giving no meaning, it may happen that this O may be an I instead of O, and you are interchanging through this I and O. The algorithm or indexing system should capable of alternating or interchanging this type of characters within itself to maintain the correct spelling in the indexing system, because you have typed and your indexing system tells that as it is written or typed by someone else, it may happen that instead of O it should be I, because O and I very much closer, like that M N very much closer, like that Y and U are very much closer, U and I very much closer. So it will suggest the appropriate word when it is being written wrongly. Remember, when the words are by mistakenly or misspelled, at the time your indexing system is suggesting this kind of alternating or interchanging of characters based upon at which position the characters are present in your keyboard. Clear? This is one approach when the text is written or typed by someone else. Second thing is when the text is being retrieved from a text image. You know the OCR, optical character recognition, means to retrieve or find the text whether it is present and what is being written inside the text image. So it may happen that it is being written document on the image, but when retrieving, this D is very much pretty similar with O, and your OCR engine is assuming that this D is not, it's not a D, it's a O, O-O-C-O-M, like this. Am I audible? Am I audible?
Yes, sir, audible.
Okay. So your OCR engine tells that it's not a D, it's a O. It's very much looks similar with O, and it assumes that it's O, but which is wrong. So after retrieving the text from an image, it gives you OOCUMENT, which is wrong. Again, when you are building the dictionary system for your indexing, it tells that there is no such word OOCUMENT. Rather, it may be, instead of O, it should be D, because it's a text which is retrieved from the OCR engine. It may happen that O is very much similar to D, and it should suggest that instead of O, it should be D. The OCR can confuse among the O and D. Okay, that is why it should suggest that the D is very much closer to O, and put the proper word in your indexing system instead of putting the misspelled word. So two things you can do. The word which is being written as a query may be misspelled. Okay, and you have to retrieve the document indexed by the correct spelling. Make it correct spelling and retrieve the document. Whatever document you have in your posting list, you can retrieve that. First of all, whatever the query is entered is wrong. It is wrong, misspelled. So what you are going to do? You have to retrieve the documents indexed by the correct spelling. That document you have correct spelling, retrieve that. Otherwise, what you are going to do? The second approach is that you are suggesting some alternative queries, like as Google sometimes do. Did you mean this? Did you mean this? Whatever the possible queries may possible, you may suggest that. They usually choose one of that, and depending on that, you are producing the posting list or the documents you have in your database. This isolated word correction already I have told, based upon the standard lexicon database, lexicon English dictionary, you are suggesting some of the words which are being misspelled. Okay, you may suppose in an industry there are several products are there, so some products are being misspelled by the user. So you may build a lexicon, or what do you know what is lexicon? A dictionary, simple dictionary, which is maintained by the person, a hand maintained, based upon the product being developed by that company, so that whenever any entry given by the user which is misspelled, that can be corrected. Or you may have some synonyms for a given word or given term.